Hey, what is going on, guys? Golden Eagle here. So today, I've got some gameplay from the Titanfall Beta on Xbox One. These are just some clips from one of my first games in the beta, maybe my third or fourth game, and in this video, I want to give you guys some of my impressions of the game after playing it for about an hour or two. So, the big question is, how is Titanfall? Well, I can honestly say, guys, that it's a lot of fun. I really think it's going to be a great game, and I can see myself making tons of videos about it for you guys. Probably even more so than Call of Duty or Battlefield videos, maybe. Titanfall feels like a breath of fresh air and something new and exciting, but there are a lot of familiar, I guess you could say, feelings that remind me of other FPS games. That's not to say that Titanfall rips off or copies these games, because that's not true at all, but there are just things about Titanfall that remind me of those games. So it's kind of cliched to say, but it feels like a combination of Call of Duty and Halo. The parts that feel like COD are the guns themselves for the most part, and the animations that the guns have while you're on foot. But most of the rest of the game actually feels more like Halo. The fact that you have to use melee a lot in combat, that it's a one-hit kill if you melee someone from behind, that you have a high floaty jump, and the fact that Titans have both shields and health. All those things remind me a lot of Halo. But, like I said, even though Titanfall reminds me of Call of Duty and Halo, it's still its own unique game that feels different in its own way. And it's very, very fun to play, guys. One thing that does feel really different about Titanfall is that it feels a lot more chaotic and fast-paced than pretty much any other FPS I've ever played. There's always so much going on that sometimes it's hard to keep track of it all, and there's absolutely no camping in this game whatsoever so far. You need to be really aggressive in this game in order to be successful and to get lots of kills. You really don't get that many kills per game, at least not on actual human players, and there's only 6 people on the other team, and the games go by relatively quickly, so you really need to go out and constantly look for a fight if you want to put up some big numbers on that scoreboard. Another thing you guys are probably wondering is how the Titans themselves feel. Well, for one thing, they're definitely not overpowered. And, in fact, I think they're pretty balanced for the most part. And actually, even though you're in this big, huge, badass mech, you know, you're still really vulnerable because there's so many ways to actually take out a Titan. And like I said before, it's sometimes hard to keep track of everything that's happening. You could be taking on another Titan one-on-one, then other players on foot could be shooting lock-on missiles at you, and then one of them could even jump on your back. All this could be happening at the same time. So it's tough to juggle all of that at the same time. And I think it's going to be something that really separates the really good players from the rest. People who want to keep their Titans alive for longer periods of time are really going to have to play things smart and be really aware of their surroundings. In a way, I think it's sometimes better to just be a pilot than to call down a Titan every time you get one. Because once you're in your Titan, you're a big, huge target. Pretty much everyone focuses on you most of the time. Being a pilot more often means you can flank around enemies and use more cover. And I think it's actually easier sometimes to take down an enemy Titan when you're a pilot. Because if you're in another Titan, you're just be taking on that Titan head-on, usually in a head-on clash. You know, you guys could be shooting at each other and dodging each other and everything, and you're mostly going to be focused on each other. Whereas if you're a pilot, you could get around behind or to the sides of the Titans, and they might not even notice you at all unless you run out in the open. Speaking of running around, all of the jumping and the wall running mechanics feel very good too. Most of it's all really easy to do, and it's really intuitive, and it's really easy to traverse the terrain, so to speak, and to get into the positions that you want to be in. In fact, it's really important to get a height advantage over the other players, and I found that it helped me win a lot of gunfights, to be on rooftops and in windows, and to just generally be above the other players. The AI bots, or the grunts, as they're referred to in this game, are something else that feels really different from any other FPS game. It's kind of weird, kind of a weird feeling at first, having them mixed in with human players, and most of the time you can tell them apart by the way they move, and of course the red name that appears on them that has grunt in their name. So like for me, one of my grunts will say Golden Eagle 171's grunt, and stuff like that. But once in a while, at longer distances where you can't see the actual red name tag, it sometimes can be harder to tell who's a grunt and who's actually a human player. Mostly, though, they just serve as distraction and as ways to rank up easy points to earn your Titans faster. Okay, guys, so those were some of my first impressions and thoughts about the Titanfall Beta after playing it for a few hours. Let me know what you guys think of the game, if you got a chance to play it. I'm going to have a couple more Titanfall videos out this week, including guides on both pilots and Titans, and create a class and that sort of thing, and maybe some sniper gameplay or a sniper montage as well, if I could get some good clips. So, make sure you guys look out for those. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.